On today's show, we're going to show you a style of whitetail hunting that's a favorite of the do-it-yourself hunter team. Hunting young pine cutover with dogs, and not walkers or blue ticks, but golden retrievers. It's a different style of hunting. You have to train the dogs and find the right terrain, and it requires fast, accurate shooting. It's especially effective on mature bucks. If you enjoy the ancient partnership of man and dog hunting as a team, stay.
Folks, I want to take you down here to Mississippi, my home state, and show you one of the ways I was raised to hunt white-tailed deer. It's one of my favorite ways to hunt. It's a very productive way. And I'm going to take a couple of my hunting buddies. You know, it's not going to be Todd and Steve. It's going to be Jody and Jessie right here. And I'm going to show you how they like to hunt white-tailed deer too. It's very productive on mature deer. You know, think about it. You hunt an area that's pressured very much. If it's not during the rut, that buck's pretty much nocturnal. So, you know, how's the best way to kill him when he's nocturnal? You can sit in that tree stand all day. You know, he's not going to come by. But if you can get the weather right, if you can take a cold, sunny day with the wind blowing, it's cut over here in the south, these bucks lay out in it. I've trained these dogs to do the hunting for me, so let me show you what I'm talking about. First one, just give me some old sand rocks, any kind of rock, just where it makes them racket, so they'll know where I want them to go. They hear that racket, they'll go to it, but if there's a deer in there close, they can smell it. And most of the time they'll jump them up, they'll give you a shot at them. We'll go over this next tower and see what we can do.
Jeremy has trained the dogs to stay with him until commanded to go. You don't want them to spook a deer before you're in position. Always look for a good vantage point that allows you to see the area of cutover you're targeting. Try to approach a hollow from a line perpendicular to a ridge or hill. The idea is to push the deer up and over the other ridge so you can get a better shot. Jeremy has thrown a rock to the area where he wants the dogs to go. The dog's noise and movement may flush a deer, or if the dogs smell one, they'll go after him. Here, you can barely see the dog. The brush and vegetation are much thicker in the bottoms. Deer like to bed in these dense hollows, but most hunters overlook them because they're so hard to get through. That's where the dogs come in. Many times, if the dogs don't flush one in the first pass, Jeremy will send them into the same area at a slightly different angle. Many times a deer, especially a mature buck, will sit tight in the thicket the first time the dogs pass, but will flush the second time they come through. After the shot, Jeremy has learned to watch Jessie, his longtime hunting companion. If the dog stays gone, the deer has been hit and she's on it. If she doesn't see or smell evidence that the deer's been hit, she'll come back to her master. And Jody, the younger dog, is always right behind her. Here comes Jessie. Must have missed that one. Jeremy felt that he'd shot over the deer when he pulled the trigger, and Jessie's quick return confirms it. Hunters, it's your responsibility to make sure you didn't wound the deer. But after many deer and many years of hunting together, Jeremy is confident in Jessie's ability to tell whether the deer was hit. Time to move on to the next spot. As we said earlier, vantage point is critical for this type of hunting. Here, the young trees are taller, so Jeremy climbs up on a high stump to get a good line of sight and launches the dogs. Jessie didn't hear the first rock land, so she's watching Jeremy. He gets her attention and throws another rock, and off they go.
Got him. Go ahead.
Let's go over here and see. I think I hit him at second shot. I ain't for sure though. The dogs done got in there. They're gonna jump him. Lay him on. Dog gonna push it. We got blood right here. You see, going over that log there, Johnny.
When hunting with dogs, recovering wounded deer is a lot more successful. Deer can't escape the dog's nose.
Them dogs, Joey. Jessie and Jody's up right here. Let's play down and she come up this line here. We got a 7-point here. This is a Mississippi whitetail. We jumped him in cut over. We got a dog season here. A lot of folks run deer with dogs, or running dogs, beagles, and running walkers, stuff like that. They get these golden retrievers. All they do is basically jump one. They won't hardly run him off. But we went on the first holler and jumped a doe. Missed it. We went over the next holler and this one jumped up. I know they hit him. I'm pretty sure when he went up, run out of the cut over there, he was hit. These dogs got on him and got up here and tracked him up. That's some fun shooting, jump shooting like this. You gotta be on your toes to hit them. They ain't not that sitting there standing, let them come to you.
On our next hunt, Jeremy and the dogs are once again hunting cutover, but this time the results are different.
Hey, old dog, y'all done y'all job, didn't you? Huh? See, I just couldn't hit him. That dang run across there wide open. I just missed him. They fun to shoot at, though. Folks, this is your do-it-yourself hunter tip of the week. It's about identifying trees, a little info that'll help you out, and a little knowledge about oak trees. There's one little simple thing to tell the difference in species of oak. Because you've got white oaks and you've got red oaks. There's several subspecies of white oaks. Your white oak, your post oak, swamp chestnut, overcup, and on your red oak side, you got pin oak, northern red, southern red, nut all. There's several, but there's one simple way of walking up and getting a leaf off the tree or picking one up under. You get under a tree, look at the majority of the leaves, and look at it. All white oaks have lobes. They come around, they have lobe leaves. All red oaks, their lobes have points on, have pins on. That's one simple way to tell if it's a white oak or if it's a red oak. Red oak's got pins on it. White oak's got lobe leaves. One reason why you need to know that Because a white oak tree, it takes 1 year for that acorn to mature. Red oaks take 2 years for it to mature. That's sometimes why you have a white oak acorn crop 1 year and you don't have a red, or vice versa. You got a red oak acorn crop, you don't have a white oak. That's one way Mother Nature sort of spreads the thing out. Because a lot of time you may have a late frost, it may get that white oak crop for this year. But that red oak's holding that from last year, and you'll have a red oak acorn crop that year. That's your do-it-yourself hunter tip of the week.
As you can see, these pups like to ride on the four-wheeler. They're saving their energy for the hunt.
If I don't walk in this cutover, what you look for is this block right here. There's pretty good deer in here. These pretty fresh rubs in here. There's big tracks in the road here. A lot of times after rain or something, you can come in and check these old logging roads and stuff where the ground's bare. You can tell there's some big tracks in there. You know what? There's some pretty good deer in here. This block here, we jumped a deer in here the other day. We didn't get a shot at him. He slipped out on us, but he's a pretty good deer. We're going to slip back in here. It's midday. It's pretty cool. The sun's shining. So hopefully he's laying down in there. But he's good. When you see good sign like that right there, there's pretty good deer around. Maybe we can jump him. Let's see.
One aspect of hunting with dogs is that the deer, when flushed, is avoiding the dogs and may come right at the hunter. Watch this next sequence. Jeremy knows the dogs are right behind the deer and saw the deer run into the thicket and stop. So he's waiting to see if the dogs have bayed this buck or if he's going to come out the other side. Sounds like Jessie's got him bayed.
Cut over buck. Big dog jumped him. And they didn't really know they jumped him. He come slipping out, come running back over the hill. Didn't know where we was at. He shot him. Must have hit him back a little bit that first shot. We walked in there and he jumped up and we got him in. That's a pretty good deer. Got good long points. A lot of times like that when they jump up in them dogs and you slip in there and be quiet, deer won't know where you at and they'll come slipping back to you. That's it. Folks, shooting running deer is just second nature to us down here in the South. You know, I was raised hunting with dogs and stuff. The only place you really got a shot at a deer was he crossing an old log road or he crossing a cut over an opening or something in the woods, and you know, you had to take a shot running or you didn't get a shot at all. You know, so, you know, we're not recommending any of you to take shots like this if you've never hunted this way. Because I can see where a lot of you looking at it that you can't kill a deer running. Because we've got several emails from folks that explain that. But, you know, what I want to tell you, you've never hunted this way. And no, I don't recommend you to take a shot like that. But let me show you 3 tips on setting a rifle up that'll help you and make you a better shot at shooting like this. There's 3 things: stock length, scope, and trigger on it. You get these 3 things set up, it'll help you. Stock length, it's got to fit you. It's got to fit you when you come up. You got clothes and stuff on. I'm short arm, so I usually always get my stocks cut off just a little bit from the factory. I'm 12.5 inch pull. Most stock that come from the factory are 13.5 inch. When you got a lot of clothes on, they won't come all the way up on you. Second, it's a scope. I like a scope setting down on the barrel. So when you throw up, your cheek comes to the cheek plate of the gun and you're lined up right where you're looking. if you got it up higher, you got to come up and get up off your stock. It won't fit you as good, and you can't come up as quick. The third thing, and the most important thing I think on a gun, is a good, crisp trigger with not any travel in it. Most automatic rifles nowadays come with two-stage triggers, and I guess that's from reliability, from the manufacturer's point of view. But for shooting fast, I don't like them. Because when you're shooting at a deer running, you don't have time to sit there and squeeze that trigger off slow like you do on a stationary target. So that's why I like a good, crisp trigger. And I usually carry mine to a gunsmith and let him do a little work on it. He can make a good trigger out of it. But that's three things I like on a gun that'll help you shoot and cut over like this.
On our last hunt, we go back a year later to the same block of cutover that was featured in our first hunt. Note how much the young trees have grown in just 1 year's time. Second and third year cutover is ideal for this type hunting. Past that, the trees are too tall to allow you to see the deer, even if you flush them. It's a testament to how quickly these young stands of timber regrow after harvest. Timberland like this not only provides habitat for abundant game, but is itself a great renewable resource that we all benefit from 2x4s to paper products.
I don't see him no more.
The dogs actually jumped 2 does, which you'll see in a minute, when the buck flushed out the side of this thicket, giving Jeremy a shot. There go the does with Jody in hot pursuit.
He come right up through here. He jumped out on the edge of that cut over right there, and he come running right up the edge of these woods, and he stopped. Just perfect, broadsided. I'm pretty sure it got him. I can see him going through these woods here. These dogs done come back. He got blood on him, so he ain't very far up here. Got us another cutover buck. He's not a monster, but pulled a pretty good shot on him. I hit him perfect. I tell him, them dogs like that, that's what they do. He come slipping out of that thicket. Now, I seen him when he got up down there, and I think I missed him at first shot. He come slipping on up the hill there, and he stopped. Just right. It was thick, but I had a hole where I could see him good. Stuff happens pretty quick like that. It's hard to get a lot of it on film. I don't think we got the shot on film. You see where I hit him at. I hit him good. I like hunting them like that. These old dogs like that too.
Another successful do-it-yourself hunt comes to its conclusion, thanks to some help from man's best friend and a unique style of hunting.
Folks, shooting at a running deer, to me and a lot of folks here in the South, that's just a way of hunting. That's just like shooting at a bird flying. You just got to have confidence in what you're doing, confidence in your equipment, and know what you're doing. I know there's going to be a lot of you out there that's probably going to criticize showing a show like this. But I'm going to ask you, have you ever hunted like this? That's probably why you're criticized, because that's not the way you're hunting. And I'm not encouraging you to hunt, to hunt like that, or even to try and make shots like that. But this is a way of hunting here in the South, and it's something that I'm very proud of, because I think it makes me a lot better hunter. I know it makes me a lot better shot. That's why I want to show it. I want your opinion on the show, But what I want to encourage you to do is practice like this. Practice shooting offhand. Buy you some extra ammo and target practice with it. Making shots like this will make you a lot better hunter. That's about all we got time for today. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Hope to see you next week for another episode of the Do It Yourself Hunter.